HEX, right? So like we're starting to see that, but because this is one thing we kind of not warned the Pulse and HEX community about, but because it was a one coin ecosystem before, it's very easy to kind of, get everybody the train behind that. But now that we have a multi-coin ecosystem, like just it's harder for everybody to kind of get that consensus, especially with the leader gone. So it's like one of these things where I think the first half of 24, if the HEX and Pulse community, I think from Liquid Loans launching, that did wake up a lot of people. And I think if we all kind of get like a consensus and like, we should dollar cost average down into these bags. Why? Because now we're going to get twice as much Pulse, twice as much HEX, twice as much Pulse X, all this stuff that we're bullish on. And like for, not as much as what our original bags were. Right.
Because if people have like a DCA strategy, let's see, 30% is going to the Pulse chain ecosystem. 30% is going to Ethereum.
Right.
And the other percentage could go into GameFi, or maybe people can split the DCAs how they like, right? Obviously, we kind of agree, like if someone's new, it should be like half Ethereum, half of this. But if someone's been around a while and kind of like, okay, you can a little less than Ethereum if you want, especially if you've been DCAing recently.
Right.
And now kind of spread it around. But I mean, look, like when Make Money says here, crazy how many people are selling their Liquid Loan stacks. I watched it all morning. People selling $100 or $50 or less
for nothing.
Right now, let me tell you what Liquid Loans right now. It's so stupid to sell the bag. Why?
Makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense at all. Like, bro, like stupid level. Anyway.
Well, it's kind of like one of these things where it's like, okay, it's not too far off, the original price. People are so desperate for liquidity.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to rug that liquidity when there's almost no liquidity there. I'm going to tank the chart of the thing that I'm basically did a lot of research on before, it was even coming out. And I want this as part of the ecosystem. And it's like, you pretty much had your strategy.
Yeah.
And then the day one, the strategy is able to be active. You basically pull the ripcord and you say, I'm going to pull the safety lever on this.
Right.
And it's like, really? Like instead, like there's not enough liquidity to even make it matter. Just leave it there. Let the price do whatever it's going to do. If it goes down, it goes down. And then buy more. Yeah. Like if the whole community, because I know if Richard Hart was being able to talk more, the whole community, he'd be like, just buy more. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. And everybody would do it. But the fact that everybody's kind of left to their own, it's like, I think the Pulse community, I love it. It's great. And like, but they do need a shot of realism. Because on Twitter, I see these people, still saying like all this bullish stuff, but then you just don't see it backed up on chain.
Yeah. And yet that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to say it if it wasn't, I'm not trying to say it just to talk shit. I'm just saying it.
It's true. Yeah. Like
they're running to be real.
They're running their mouth. It's like sort of like they're running their mouth. And they're not actually buying, and they're hoping all their pleb followers do what they do, but they're not falling for it anymore either, because like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'll tell you, man, Island Boys ruined this shit. Let's just be for real. Like
that's where the multi-coin tribalism of like, it's like,
because they're backing an ecosystem. Because they back their micro ecosystem and their sacrifices, and they're the.
Do you want to? It's basically like there's a horse with 4 legs. They took a bat to one of the legs because they benefited.
Yeah,
but then it ruins things for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, if the horse dies, they die.
Right.
Like, what are we talking? Well, maybe if they're in deep enough, I mean, maybe they can cash out themselves. But like, they fucking like they're willing to kill everyone else just for them to win.
Yeah.
But I mean, they broke the camel's back a little bit. I mean, they got the whole community to fight against itself, and then on top of that, they stopped the community from staking, and now they're not a peep. These guys were like 24/7 stake, and now, I mean, dude. I mean, I can talk shit about these guys if I wanted to, but like, whatever.
Just the general idea is important, because it's one of these things where whenever you have these types of events where it's like, this is 4 years of HEX, great. Like the only person that I've seen, I've seen a lot of different content, but my friend Somi, he actually put out a rainbow chart on HEX.
Oh, that was Gerardo's rainbow chart.
Was it?
Yeah, he made the rainbow chart.
Oh, I thought it was just a meme.
No.
It was actually
it was actually. I was like, they need to add more colors to it, right?
Dude, I was like, at least somebody has a sense of humor about the whole thing, because that's what's needed to have the right mindset.
That's only tracking HEX.
Of course, but it's a joke.
But it's a joke. But it's fucking hilarious, because I was about to say that earlier. It needs to be a combined price one to see what it is.
Right.
But
it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, community should laugh at itself. look at what's really happening and be like, okay, what do we need to do to get this train moving in the right direction? Because I think it's right there. Like the fact that liquid loans came out this week, the fact that Bitcoin's trying to tap 40K, that's an area where it's like, okay, we're percolating here. If we do have one more week of positivity with Bitcoin, people should be buying kind of everything.
Right.
Even if they're just like looking at it as a short-term trade to the end of the year, beginning of next year, we could pump to anywhere between 44 to 48K by the end of the year, New Year's on Bitcoin, which what do you think that's going to do to the Pulse chain price and everything? And like, what I want to see is just the community get behind it enough to get it back towards that rate, find some higher level support. And then, you know, you have, you know, a track record basically of accumulation, a very nice, you know, chart to go to, you know, maybe the rest of the community outside of crypto or, you know, other people within crypto and be like, hey, you might not like all the news around this, but being a little contrarian sometimes, you know, is a good thing. And look, there's a base that everybody's building on here, but if everything's going down into the right, like nobody's going to be putting money into this ecosystem.
Yeah.
And you need you need a bunch of different ingredients. You need liquidity to come into the system. You need developers with quality projects, and we're getting that more and more now, which is great. So like all these little ingredients, as long as the community is talking about this, because I think that's what's necessary. Richard Hart's done something that's pretty cool, which is like put the onus on the community. He's like, this is your project now.
Yeah.
And like the community has to take that baton. And I don't think they've done it fully yet.
No, I mean, it's a bunch of people. I mean, a bunch of people got wrecked in the bear market, and let's just be for real. They're using project launches to fund lifestyle and give them bags. That's what it is. That's what's happening. 1,000% I mean, at various levels, from a more benign level where like, yeah, I launched a project, made some money, but I'm actually trying to help, to like straight up just I took all the money and ran. Like we have all the rainbow charts in between, like in between of that and stuff. And you guys choose who is who in this adventure and stuff. But
do your own due diligence for sure.